Hi, my name's Kelsey Jones. I'm the managing editor of Search Engine Journal, and I'm here today with Rhea Drysdale. She's the CEO of Outspoken Media. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I know at your company you focus a lot on long-term SEO for your clients. Can you kind of go into that and why it's so important?
So there's a lot that's happening in SEO, and I think that when we talk about long-term success, we usually try to think about tactics and how do I win in the short term, how do I build more backlinks, what do I need to do? And we tend to forget that most of us aren't even going to be around in our jobs after 3 years. So that's the average amount of tenure for someone between the ages of 25, I think, and 35. And that's what most of us are, I think. And if we're not even going to be around to see long-term success, how could we possibly begin to invest in tactics that are going to have that impact? So on our side, what I say is investing means really contributing to long-term SEO success, not owning it. And you contribute by building up a team that has great perspective, a team that can last a long time, by giving them the education and the process to educate themselves, because that's the most important thing in SEO. SEO changes every single day.
Yeah.
So how do we keep track of those changes? How do you give them perspective to interpret the changes that are happening? Because a lot of the times we see so much happening and we don't know how do we talk about it? How do we explain to a client the importance of that and what to do with it? So really educating your team through tools, listening to your team, developing them, making sure that you retain them in the long term. Also looking at your technology, because the technology that you put in place today and the analytics that you have are going to probably live beyond you unless you've made a mistake. And if you make mistakes, that's a really expensive switch cost. So you want to make sure that you choose the right technology for your organization that is going to carry you in the long term. For long-term SEO success, I would be looking at again, how do you build a team? How do you invest in them? Give them the right tools. Make sure you've got really good data that's reliable, that can last in long term, and that's going to help inform long-term business strategy. And I think that's the best way to really grow significantly, and it's not about short-term tactics.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one thing, going into building a team, how important is sort of cross-training? So making sure that your SEO team also knows about, social media and local SEO. Do you think that's important for, an SEO team member to have experience in a lot of different areas?
Yeah, so my personal belief is that I want to have a team of very robust marketers. Otherwise, I don't feel like they can survive. I know there are other SEOs that have different opinions. So they'll train people to be specialists in one area, which is a really good business model, but you have to make sure that you had the right investment in something that's not going to go away and that's going to really carry your business through. So for me, I believe in a robust marketer that knows all areas. It's a lot harder to train them. There's a potential to lose them, but I would rather be a talent producer rather than a talent consumer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, I agree.
Yeah, when people leave us, they're going on to their dream jobs. I'm proud of that.
Good. So one area of marketing that I kind of wanted to ask you about was reputation management. How important do you think reputation management is to SEO?
So reputation management is massive, and I know I talk about it often, but it really is so important. And we're seeing that it's starting to play out more and more in the actual algorithm. So there are more reputation factors, and reputation management really plays out in social media, it plays out in your content, and I think that it's exciting that people are paying more attention to it. Also with link building and outreach, we used to be able to go and buy some directory links and do things that were, again, very short-term, tactical, and now we need to have more earned links that require a lot more investment in traditional outreach and PR tactics. So I think that SEOs are still in our infancy, and it's just very, very important that we understand the role of reputation management, and that reputation management is not about just burying search results when something negative happens. It is everything about your brand, and your brand accounts for so much, and if something happens positively to your brand, that's reputation management too, and that can have major impacts on your SEO performance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see reputation management as protecting against catastrophes in case the worst could happen. So that's a really good point, that it's also about the positive aspects of it and sort of building a plan to promote those positive things as well. Because I think when a lot of people companies get good feedback that's positive, they don't really know how to harness that or make the most of it. So what are some strategies companies could do to harness the positive reputation management that they do get?
So I think that when it comes to positively improving your reputation, I would really look at what's different about your business and who do you have on your team. This speaks to things like, what are you doing in the community? What's your culture like? If you're a company that is publicly traded, looking at the financial information that you're sharing, there are a lot of things that you can put out in terms of content that are very, very positive that everyone wants to enjoy. You want to get to know the brand, you want to know the people behind it, and again, that can be a risk for certain companies that don't want to divulge that. But if you're a brand that's going to welcome that and invite people in, then that can really, really last.
Yeah, definitely. I think consumers today are choosing to purchase and work with companies that are more transparent and sort of own up to, especially on social media, when a negative comment comes, when they're open and honest with fixing that. I think that really makes a difference as well.
Huge.
So thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Rhea Drysdale with Outspoken Media, and I'm Kelsey Jones, Managing Editor with Search Engine Journal. Thanks. Enterprise SEM versus B2C.
Yeah, of course. So when you're dealing with enterprise SEM, you're not only working with a large-scale account.
Evaluate and build high-quality links to rank her customers on the first page of Google. But let's be honest, Susan is just sick of it. How can she take care of business when her daily work is devastated by unpredictable Google algorithm changes? Should she and her team sell their souls to abide by the ever-changing rules of link quality? No, absolutely not. Susan, meet Christoph. He has the power and trust to conquer SEO fears. With his courageous team, he has developed the master of all link building technologies, called Link Research Tools. Their aim